Welcome to Follow Your Joy podcast, where intuition is the doorway to your elevated creativity, more joy, and prosperity. I'm your host, Marla Diane, and I've been living an intuitive life for decades as a creative. That translates to transforming creative entrepreneurs' lives for over 27 years through two businesses as a business strategist and a life designer. And prior to that, an entertainment publicist and talent manager. Follow Your Joy is an entrepreneurial resource for creatives sharing their challenge to victory stories through the lens of listening to their intuition. It's time to make joy your inner GPS for life and business decisions rather than lean on your logic and reason first. You'll not only be following what is most authentic for you, but you will live the beautiful life meant just for you. Want to learn how to access, trust, or up-level your intuition? Join me in the conversation to find out how. Hi, creatives. How you doing today? So imagine saying to yourself, I finally have the life I love and want. What do you really want to prioritize in your life that you've been pushing aside? And I mean the big ones, not just the much needed walks in nature, quiet time, midweek getaways to the museum, and a plane ride to visit relatives or a good friend. That's all good. I'm talking life-altering priorities, a solo trip to Tuscany or Mallorca, monetizing your soul's calling, moving abroad and reinventing your career. How about a deep renovation of your home or your identity? Here's the truth. Your desires, not goals, your desires aren't just whimsical wishes. They're meant to transform you. And to manifest them, you need more than willpower and spreadsheets. I aspire for you to define success through a new paradigm, one rooted in feminine wisdom, intuitive strategy, structure, actions, and an embodied new identity. The new paradigm, the blend of feminine and masculine energies and traits, not just goal setting, it's achievement of your top desires and your measurable goals. And that's my creative achievement formula. This methodology was born, I know, from my own major burnout to breakthrough, which was a turning point that became my gift in the challenge. And since 2018, women from all walks of life have changed their success metrics and have thrived. This methodology is the core and the heart of what you'll experience in your soul-led next level portal starting January 28th for a 90-day experience. The portal is for the ambitious woman ready to live and work differently, with her desires in the driver's seat and her intuition at the wheel. You are in the stage of life wanting to create your next chapter with a refined identity ushering you in 2026 and throughout. So I carefully curate this portal with a synergy of 5 to 8 committed women. Enrollment is happening now till the spots are filled. I do offer special rates at various times of this enrollment period, so be on the watch or ask. Use the link in the show notes to connect or email support@marladiane.com asking to talk, and we'll find available dates for us to explore your next chapter and see if we are a match to take you there. If group gathering, by the way, is not your thing and you want one-on-one mentoring instead on this next chapter, new success metrics methodology, go ahead and say so in your email or the form using the link below. I have several options just for you. Okay, now on to my next guest on Follow Your Joy. Here comes another enlightening conversation. Happy New Year! And how are you? Boy, it's good to be back with you and let's talk. Let's sit or stand, whatever it is that you're doing, and let's just have a nice long catch up. Yeah? And let me tell you something. Thank God 2025 is done and it's in the rear. And 2026, the year of the fire horse, is here. I love that. Go look it up if you haven't. Look it up on Google. What all that means. It's really super positive, meaning momentum and passion and getting things done and completing and so forth. Apparently, last year, 2025, was the year of the snake, which was all about the letting go and the shedding of the skin and the getting rid of. Boy, was that very true, right? So I am all about the horse, and I love horses anyway, so I was pretty happy when I saw that info. So yeah, glad it is over with 2025. Here in the US, we endured, my God, more than ever imagined in this country. So what's the silver lining? Inner strength, right? Coming out on the other side wiser with stronger boundaries that bring out what I feel is our truer selves rather than self-negotiate what we really desire. Yeah. And how about we just take this collective wisdom and the dignity into 2026 and create an extraordinary life that we can be proud of. That's where I'm coming from. How about you? Yeah. So, again, welcome to Follow Your Joy podcast. We are literally on episode, I believe it's 96. We've got 4 more episodes to hit the big 100. So, I am excited about that. So, all right. So, get your coffee or tea and sip on that while listening, whether you're in the car, at a coffee shop with your headphones on. Maybe you're doing exercise, you're outside walking. That's what I do a lot when I listen to podcasts. Um, but I've got plenty to share, lots and lots to share. But let's first start with the wrap up, the year wrap up of Follow Your Joy. And then I'll go into my gratitudes for 2025 because there were a lot of them. So apparently, my followers, thank you, you're one of them, increased by 40%. That's pretty darn good. I had no idea. And how cool is this that Follow Your Joy landed in the binged show and marathon show categories? Okay, I'll take that. And I see you, world. The top 5 countries where Follow Your Joy is listened to is, of course, in US, Canada, Australia, Mexico, and Morocco. Hello, Morocco, Mexico, Australia, and Canada. Hello, hello. So awesome. I love that. These stats are pretty cool. All right, now the 7 top listened to episodes of 2025 are these. And again, thank you for listening, everybody. That's what, created this final list. Okay, so the first one, what would I do if I only had 1 year to live? Crisis pushed me to my edge. That was January 29th with my guest Salima Yakubi. Number 2, 40 years, I'm giving you the title first. 40 years, 1,650 communities in 9 countries, planting trees to transform lives, ecosystems, and the environment. That was a January 14th episode. And my guests were Scott Sabin and Kathy Kellogg Johnson for Plant with Purpose. Kathy has been about a 10-year client of mine, and Scott is the CEO of Plant with Purpose. Number 3 is redefining success, a quantum leap into your soul-led future and behind the scenes of Your Voice Matters workshop. That was a September 17th episode, and that was my solo episode. Number 4, Messages from Florence, a love letter to Italy, life and next chapters. That was a November 11th episode, and my guest, direct from Florence, Italy, was Melinda Gallo. And that was Living in Florence, Italy, is her Facebook, her Facebook handle, and her book. Her book is just beautiful. Okay, number 5 is Baking Up a New Life, how Lori Gray built Lori's Pie Bar from turning a setback into a sweet business. That was a September 30 episode, and of course my guest was the owner, Lori Gray. Wonderful pies, great story about how she left corporate America and started her own baking business. So listen in on that one if you haven't. Number 6, she tells the meaning behind asking your intuition, what is my highest good in this situation? April 22nd episode with my guest, Christy Flynn, a psychic medium. I've known Christy for quite a while. I want to say over 10 years. She was a client of mine back in, I believe it was 2014, and we reconnected last year, and she had changed everything about what she was doing, and I was thrilled to have her on. And then number 7, God, these are literally fabulous top 7. Number 7 is From Dream to Dolce Vita, Chris Sobolev's Artful A Reimagined Life in Italy. May 20th episode, and of course, Chris Sobolev of Chris Sobolev Fine Art and Super Savvy Travelers. Chris also was a client of mine last year for about 9 months. And wow, the whole story is there on the episode and what she did to literally reinvent her life. Okay, beautiful. 7 top listened to episodes. So congratulations to my guests that made that list. And I'm really looking forward to what's going to happen this year. All right. So here goes the 2025 gratitudes. Let's dive into that. So I want to first start acknowledging, and I don't think I talk about this very much, and I want to acknowledge Chelsea Marie. Chelsea has been my right hand brand manager for over 13 years. Everything you see, from the social look to my website to obviously my personal brand, the colors, the style, everything. That's Chelsea. And she's also does the production, right? The editing of the podcast, which is a heavy lift. Y'all know what that's about. And that's the genius behind this podcast is Chelsea does all the post production. So give it a hands up, a high five for Chelsea. And I'm super grateful for our relationship and everything that we have gone through together. Grateful for obviously last year clients, my private clients, you know who you are, my cohort clients, and my new soul-led next level portal clients. Absolutely loved being your mentor and loved witnessing the shifts and the changes that happen for you. Thank you for being in my life. Of course, a gratitude goes out to you, my podcast listeners. Thank you for following. Thank you for being a part of this and sharing the podcast. Portal of Joy. I'm grateful. That's a new addition that's happened in about, I think it was June, that we added, my team and I, Chelsea, created the Portal of Joy, which is a literally location. It's its own page. You have to opt in, and it houses gifts, free downloads, and that is high value free downloads from my guests from the podcast. I wanted to be able to feature these high value, right, downloads and handouts and various things that they offered that had to do with their episode. And so we turned it into the Portal of Joy, and all you have to do is opt in. It's free. And once you're in there, you can download whatever you want. Yeah, so Portal of Joy, grateful for that. Next, I am very grateful. Total labor of love, Your Voice Matters workshop. That was in September of last year, September 6th to be exact. And I co-produced it with Laura Weintraub and Ashley Rivera. Whoo, boy, was that a lot of work. But it turned out to be a phenomenal experience. So thank you to the speakers that we featured and everyone that attended the workshop. We witnessed changes going on that day. Everyone left with a tremendous amount of inspiration. And yeah, it was just terrific. And thank you to the sponsors, you know who you are, for that workshop. So personally, it was and this is a gratitude, believe it or not. It's always the lessons learned, right? Is that it was a challenging year for me, a lot of inner work, who I am at this stage in my life and how I wanted to make an impact while loving what I do, and how to align with all the changes that are happening online, right? With AI, especially AI, and I love it. I have a what I consider a great relationship with my Chat GPT partner. I really, really enjoy using it, but it's a lot of changes as a result of it for all of us. And of course, the enormous opportunities that are, part of that. So grateful for the inner work I had to do, the changes I needed to do. I'll talk even more about that and what came out on the other side of that in a few minutes. I'm also grateful for, my gosh, in early December, and this kind of leads to the change, is I started watching, I should say, re-watching and re-following Gary, right, Vaynerchuk, on Instagram and YouTube. And look, I started with this guy, I should say, I started following him. He was my mentor in 2008 when I first came on to, this online platform, uh, and started my coaching business. Because what I did, and this is why I was following him and learning from him. Remember, he was teaching. He's been a thought leader from day one. He was teaching back in 2008 how to do social media, how to turn yourself into a brand, personal brand, what to do, right? You remember the Crush It book? I read that several times over. I used that to then lift off and launch my coaching business, because I was literally coming from, and I was segueing from a 22-year career in entertainment PR, and I was working with celebrities and visual and performing artists. I was building their personal brands, and little did I know, in 2006, 2007, when everything was starting to evolve, and I had this inner nudge and this intuition that said, it's time for a reinvention, Marla. It's time for you to do something new and exciting and innovative. And I loved that, but I didn't know what. I didn't know what, but I knew stuff was happening and everything was changing. So all that to say is, long story short, I ended up through hiring a coach to help me build an online business, which was a coaching business. Had no clue I was going to even be doing this. And she recommended taking my 20 years of PR and personal branding expertise and teaching entrepreneurs how to turn themselves into a brand online and monetize it through Facebook, email marketing, and a blog. And I immediately loved what she said because I was about the 11th hour after a year of searching what was I going to be doing. And it was a perfect fit, but I needed to learn. And I said, great, show me how to do it. So in my first couple years of learning, Gary Vee was my guy, was my go-to, while I had my coach helping me build the structure, the systems, and how to run a coaching business. So fast forward to now, today, what I found was, and this was during the holidays and the downtime that I had, which was really terrific, by the way. I had a lot of beautiful, quiet time, rest, and relaxation. It was a really lovely staycation here. And so I started watching his YouTube videos and Instagram, and he was talking about social selling. And at the same time, as the big, huge change that's going on out there online, and that China's been doing it for years, but we're finally catching on, social selling and social shopping. And at the same time as I was taking in his info, I was also being found, found, um, let's see, Shop House and Social Army podcasts on YouTube where they were interviewing TikTok shop affiliates. It's about a 2-year new division of TikTok. These people that were absolutely making bank on selling a whole bunch of just stuff on TikTok. Um, but what was startling to me was it was all walks of life. We're talking stay-at-home moms that went from 0 to 50 grand a month, right? Mortgage brokers, realtors, 20 somethings, 30 somethings, 50 somethings, you name it. They were learning how to do social selling, right, on TikTok. I know you've been on that. I know you've seen what I'm talking about, but there's a whole culture, right? And training and how to do that. So I'm listening to these podcasts, right, as I'm taking in info too from Gary, who is saying this is what's happening. This is, you better get in on this. And as he was saying in his, high pitched passion, you want to make your first million, go do social selling. So anyway, all that to say is I got incredibly like inspired. I still had to wrap my head around, my gosh, the amount of income that these people were making of all, again, all different types of people and ages. There were 20 somethings making 3 times the amount I've ever made in my life. I'm like, what? How is this possible? They're selling vitamins and they're selling, skincare and they're selling just odds and ends. It took me, a couple weeks to really kind of wrap my head around it. But all that to say is I love innovation, much like 17 years ago when I said, okay, got to reinvent me, got to, be online, got to do what's happening on the, online landscape. So I went ahead and I joined Social Army, which is a membership which teaches you how to do this. So to be continued on that. I'm literally just training. I'm taking in information. I'm watching other TikTok shop affiliates that are been trained, watching what they're doing and so forth. To be continued on that one. So yeah, that's what then led me to affiliate marketing to add to my brand. Affiliate marketing, not only with potentially TikTok shop, but other brands. Because yes, the world of creators and influencers, and there is a difference. I'm considering myself a creator, not an influencer. And creators create brand relationships, right, with specific companies, brands, and they sell their products. it's another division, another version of affiliate marketing. Anyway, I've known about affiliate marketing for since I started, but I never really took advantage of it. And now I'm seeing the what's going on online with it, and it's you got to do this. All right, so there's that, and I'm with again Social Army, and let's see what else. Yeah, okay. Like I said, it's over the vacation time. Super, super grateful that, yeah, my staycation, I had a lot of quiet time, a lot of downtime, a lot of time to see friends, going to, holiday parties, going out to dinner. Um, and because I had this quiet time, I was able to get some creative downloads, get some ideas, get some, I call them divine downloads. And what I was looking at as I'm learning this affiliate marketing and this TikTok shop affiliate stuff is I wanted to figure out how to integrate my current, obviously, coaching expertise around the soul led next level portal for refined women seeking their next chapter, right? And combine the whole products and the lifestyle, arm of this. So out of this came La Vita è Bella, and that means life is beautiful. And it's a lifestyle brand. And it stands for a lifestyle of joy, beauty, reinvention, and elegant living for refined women 45 and over being called to their next chapter. So I'm adding products like, let's say, they have to do with beauty, travel, um, what else? Goodness sakes, anything lifestyle. So I'll get to that in just a moment, a little more specifics. But my brand inspires through my new brand, beauty, joy, travel, feminine wisdom. And by one speaking, right, online and offline, continue to do that with my feminine masculine topic and teaching women how to have new success metrics, leading with the feminine wisdom and the masculine supporting it, curating experiences, teaching through stories, blending Italy, lifestyle, reinvention, and feminine spirit. Create connections in real life more often instead of being stuck behind a computer, right? A laptop. And then, of course, delivering the brand through promoting products and, uh, rituals and places and people that I genuinely love. I'm going to partner with luxury brands, travel partners, perhaps wine clubs, women's groups. And this identity, it's lighter, it's more intuitive, it's more feminine, it's more aligned with really the woman I've been evolving for years, right? I've been evolving into this for years. And it took all year, really, for me to come up with this. I've gone through changes through the year, but it was finally landed when I opened myself up, got quiet enough, right, during the holidays and didn't have a lot of pressure put on me. And I was able to come up with that. So I'm super excited. And I'll also, under that brand, uh, deliver new content. This all fits beautifully with the La Vita e Bella brand. About women 45 and over experiencing hormonal changes, brain changes, how to embrace the new woman at this phase of life. And who's my inspiration? Another part of my, findings during the holidays, Dr. Mindy Pelz. You may know her. I literally happened upon her last week while watching her interview with Marie Forleo on her podcast on YouTube. I had no idea who Mindy was, but boy, was I blown away at the transparency of their conversation about the depth of the changes that they went through due to hormonal shifts and how it impacted their brains, their response to what was once a passion that was no longer, to low stress and tolerance, or I should say low tolerance to stress, to wanting the answers to who they are now. I mean, it was like sitting there with girlfriends over coffee talking about, why am I not okay with this anymore? Why am I not excited about this thing anymore? What's going on with my brain? What's going on with my body? And it was so validating. It was so validating because I was concerned. I felt, am I the only one going through this? Why is my brain a little bit, it's changed. Obviously my body has changed. Just everything was changing. And even though, yes, I had been reading and listening to podcasts around menopause, and one of my favorites YouTubers is Dominique Saksha, who is all about women 50 and over, and she does a lot of menopause, topics on her podcast. So it's not new to me. But as I was listening to the two of them, and Marie especially, I'm like, wow, I had no idea this was happening for Marie. And the way that they were sharing, it just felt, it was so real. And this huge relief came over me. I don't know if you've ever had that experience when you just get validated. You're not going crazy. you know, you literally get validated. And all of a sudden, everything shifted for me. And this is just in the last week. Okay. And so I started to follow Mindy, listening to her podcast, listening to her YouTube channel. She is a wealth of info on hormonal health, 3-day water fasts, which are really medically guided water fasts. Um, she's an expert in the peri and postmenopause, how to eat, right, according to these changes, how to combine various foods, what supplements to take, etc., and how to embrace this new you and what's going on with your brain. And it's a beautiful, positive approach that she has, and not the doom and gloom that you hear out there. So I bought her book, Age Like a Girl. It's a trilogy. She's got, I believe, let's see, Fast Like a Girl, Eat Like a Girl. That's her first and second books, and then she's got her third one that just came out in December, Age Like a Girl, that takes you through all of this that I'm talking about, her knowledge, her expertise in, right, that stage of life, and how to embrace it, and how to make sense of what's going on with our brains, and to move into a whole new chapter of life. And as a result of this, I joined a new fitness center here, literally on the last week. I got so darn inspired. Um, Joined a new fitness center, took my first body sculpting class there, and have a whole month planned of, working out and weight bearing exercises. And I mean, it's just, I feel like a new woman as a result of, all of this knowledge, and that I'm not alone. And I joined her, the 3-day water fast. I would have never done this before. But with how she walks you through it and explains what goes on and why it's vital to do something like this, I joined. It's a free, right, 3-day class, and it's Monday. It started Monday the 5th. And yeah, I'm excited. I've got notes here. I've got the guidelines and the guidebook in front of me, and I'm just making changes. So super happy. And I've always loved health and fitness. I was always athletic when I was younger, even up until about, I don't know, 4 years ago. I was very athletic. And then the changes started happening even more so in the brain, in the body, and I lost motivation. And so I am thrilled to be back on this path, and really, really do good with it. So it makes sense to add this content then, bringing it back to La Vita e Bella for midlife women, right? And how to go about designing their new chapter. Okay. So it will also be, these topics will also be on the podcast here. And the podcast is going to take a little bit of a shift and a change to align with this lifestyle brand, where I'm going to be talking with, not only with, excuse me, as a solo, right, episode, but with guest experts on Italy, culture, beauty, adventure, women reinvention stories. Right, been doing those for a couple of years already. Beauty and wellness experts, lifestyle experts, perhaps fine art, travel. So it's all going to, right, the guests will be resembling the new brand, right? Lifestyle brand. The products, then, let's move into that before I finish up here. I'm going to have a few more minutes. The products I'm considering to add to this brand, and I'll be what is called a brand partner. One is Typology. I don't know if you've heard of it. Typology, it's a very classy, natural women's skincare and makeup line from Paris. I love it. I actually use it. And I know you've seen it, right, on Instagram, on YouTube. I love it, and I've applied to be an affiliate. Bon Hair Fine Jewelry, based in New York City, they reached out to me after I signed up for this affiliate platform, and they reached out to me to be one of their affiliates. So I'm just getting to, know them and understand what they're doing. Beautiful jewelry. It's moderate range as far as pricing, anywhere from $100 to $300. Beautiful pieces, affordable yet classy. I also submitted an affiliate request to be a Nordstrom affiliate. And let's see, who else? Nordstrom. Yeah, okay, so those are the ones so far. And then possibly we'll see about the products with Social Army that have brand partnerships with TikTok Shop. But there are just hundreds of types of products there. We'll see how they align with my personal brand. So, it's interesting about TikTok is, yeah, I have an account, probably, I want to say 4 or 5 years, but I really never, put a lot of effort into it, and it didn't seem to really resonate with me. However, I wanted to be smart and at least post things, but I've got a whole new outlook on TikTok, and everything is changing there. So I highly recommend you take a look at it. So also is with the La Vida e Bella, I'll be creating a second Instagram account, and collaborating between the Marla Diane and the La Vida e Bella Instagram account where the products will be. Yeah. So you will find me on those two platforms, or I should say those two accounts, on Instagram, on TikTok, and continued with obviously YouTube and Facebook. So this has been a long time in coming that I could kind of nourish and monetize my creative, feminine, fun side. Boy, I did a lot of that when I was in PR, but it kind of fell to the wayside when I went into coaching, and I want to bring that back. That's a real true part of me that I have been completely neglecting, and I miss it. I was, very into the creative and very kind of footloose and fancy free. I know it may be a little hard to believe, but coaching made me a little too serious. So we're going to come back to the middle on this. So yeah, my feminine side, and adding it to my current human potential expertise. I'm just ecstatic. I love this. My creative side had been so neglected for quite a long time. And so what I did to kind of bring this all together is a couple weeks ago, when I was in the receiving of ideas mode, That's the feminine mode. That's the leaning back, not doing anything, just receiving the ideas, writing them down. As I went ahead and I prompted, I went to ChatGPT and I prompted my couple weeks worth of content. I already chose the name La Vita e Bella, but I then said, okay, here's my vision for my new lifestyle brand. And of course, you know what goes on with chat. Boom. In seconds, I have this entire blueprint for, everything about the brand, stages to take, products, you name it. So I loved what came out of there. And I'm just, yeah, I'm thrilled to be headed in this direction because I've always been kind of a lifestyle gal. And to add it to the coaching and the shift that I'm doing in the coaching, more on working with, again, women entrepreneurs in their approach to how they handle their business themselves, their intuition, um, putting the feminine first, the masculine to support all of that. So I'm not getting out of being an entrepreneur and coaching entrepreneurs, but very, very specific in supporting them to honor who they are and create that next chapter, that new chapter, because of all the changes that go on with them at that phase of life. Okay. So let's talk about finally how to design a new chapter in your life. Okay. So 365 days of new opportunities lie ahead. We're just a week in. So, how are you feeling about yourself, your impact, your self care, how your business or career reflects who you are now? Let's do a gentle but very specific litmus test. Okay. I have 7 reasons why your intuition may be right nudging you towards a new chapter or validating what you've already been sensing. Number 1, your genius has evolved. I should say your genius zone has evolved, but your business model hasn't. You're wiser, more intuitive, more creative than you were years ago, but your business may still be built on an older version of you. That mismatch creates burnout. Number 2 reason, you've been living mostly in masculine mode. And when I say masculine, I'm talking about literally principle, energy, actions. I'm not talking about gender. Okay. Masculine of life, and we need both, which is why I teach the blend of both. But certainly not to live in the masculine most of the time. That's what causes burnout. That's what causes disconnect, right? So masculine, right, is the logic. It's the practicality of life. It's what I call the ego mind. It's the function, the strategies, the structures, the intellect. Okay, it's from the neck up. Whereas the feminine is from the neck down. It's the body. Okay, your feminine is your entire body. Feminine is intuition. It's your wisdom, right? Your intuitive wisdom. It's creativity, spirituality, fun, the play, adventure of life, um, connection, collaboration, manifesting, creation, visioning, all of that that gets a second, seat to masculine in our daily doings has to change. And that's my platform. All right. So number 2 reason why you may be ready for a new chapter, besides the hormonal changes, is you've been living mostly in masculine mode. Okay. So literally your feminine is asking to breathe again. It's natural to you, ladies. It's there and you must honor it. And I teach you how to do that, how to lead with it, how to make money with it, right? How to honor it. All right. Number 3 reason why is your nervous system has been all in a long, quiet sprint. It's another important piece. And all this, by the way, is in the teachings of my soul-led next level portal. So your nervous system has been in a long, quiet sprint. Burnout isn't one moment. It's a cumulative pressure, right? Your body's asking for joy, for beauty, for pleasure to return to the equation. Okay, just like what I was explaining earlier, I left my feminine on the sidelines way too long and I headed for burnout. It's how I ended up here teaching it. Okay. All right. Number 4, reason why you're ready for a new chapter. Your business no longer serves you at this stage of life. You're craving more connection, creativity, meaningful experiences, not more time alone behind the laptop. Enough said on that one. Number 5 reason, inspiration has quietly turned into obligation. What once felt like service to your clients can start to feel like survival. When that happens, the soul begins to withdraw. That's evolution, not failure. Okay? So our obligation that was once inspiration is what has been, right, the leading factor here. Right. Number 6, your identity has grown, but your work hasn't caught up with it. You've done inner work, I know you have, but your business still asks you to suppress the parts of you that now want to lead. I love this one. This is one of my favorites, right? That your business still asks you to suppress the parts of you that now wants to lead. That's the feminine, ladies. The feminine power, the feminine wisdom, the intuition, the creativity, etc. Number 7, right, of reasons why it's time for the next chapter. You're meant for something more joyful, creative, and expansive. Your intuition has been guiding you towards a new way of living and working, and you're not meant to stay where you are. So which of these resonates? A couple of them? All of them? Here's the secret. Every one of these were me a year ago. Yep. I can't be passionate on this platform. I can't be an advocate for you without having gone through it myself. Because I know the inner tension, the uncertainty, the quiet knowing that something wants to change, right? I'm giving you permission to reinvent, to slow down, to learn how to receive more gracefully. Receiving versus the doing. Doing is masculine, receiving is feminine. Doing more of the receiving. Still do the doing, right? But receiving more. To allow your next identity to emerge, right? While being guided, supported, and mentored by me, who has lived this work for decades. And that's why I created the Soul-Led Next Level 90-day portal. It's a space for women who have lived full lives and are now choosing to live who they are now and more beautifully. Yeah, that's La Vita e Bella. Midlife women, I will call 45 to 75 age range, are all going through this hormonal body change, yet we have lives and businesses to manage and excel at. And when we hit this stage in life, a new chapter calls. Not only in business, but more importantly, who you are. Because she's different. Her response to stress, her nervous system, her brain, her physical strength or lack of it, her creativity, her stress tolerance, and more are impacted. My ambitious women entrepreneurs right? Want balance and new success metrics to live and work by that match who they are now. That's why I've got the portal. And I've got beautiful women that just finished. And it's remarkable the changes they've gone through. Because when ambitious women like you and I, right, doubt our mental, emotional, and physical strength that was once a trademark of ours, is now being diluted due to the hormonal changes, we want answers and solutions. And a new chapter in life is the right thing to do. It honors the beauty of who we are and how we express it, right? This is paramount to living a quality life that we feel good about. So beginning January 28th, I guide you to release outdated success metrics that are mostly masculine and lead with your feminine wisdom, supported by the masculine, not dominated by it. Okay. Enrollment closes January 19th. There are a few spots that still remain, and a curation call is required so that we can feel in alignment together. Okay, we want to make sure that we are a fit and that you're a fit for the synergy in which I like to create in this intimate space. It's a small portal, right, of anywhere from, can be 4 to 6 to 7 women. Okay, it's a lot of attention given to you. All right, the details are listed below in the show notes, but there's a link that takes you to the details of the portal, right, and the modules. And let's schedule your call, right? Give yourself that, at least that much to explore it, yeah? So, with the horse as our symbol for 2026, turn up the passion on yourself, on your dreams, and build momentum and traction that you have aspired to. So cheers to new experiences that expand your creativity and joy, that impact and inspire others to do the same. Because you got this. I believe in you. Loads of love. Happy New Year. Prosperity, health, abundance, and blessings. See you soon in the next episode. Hey, thanks for listening. You can find more entrepreneurial stories and resources at marladiane.com. And while you're there, enjoy my free downloads to uplevel your business and your life. And Instagram. It's my favorite place to hang out. Let's connect there. If you received inspiration from the episode, I'd sure appreciate a 5-star review on Apple and Spotify. Until next episode, take care.